Does this look familiar? You've prepared a perfectly balanced, nutritious meal for your feline friend, but they're looking at it as if you've just served them a pile of unpaid bills. In those judging eyes, there is only one word: meat. Pure, fresh, endless meat. Congratulations, you are officially living with a meat tyrant. It's actually quite adorable, and until we look at the biology. Today, we're diving deep into why this meat-only obsession can be a silent risk, and how to transform your fuzzy dictator into a fan of balanced nutrition without losing their trust or your own sanity. Welcome to all cat lovers and those of you whose lives revolve around 3 a.m. zoomies and demanding meows. We're here to explore the fascinating world of our feline companions together. By nature, cats are obligate carnivores. It sounds noble, even a bit fierce. You might think, if nature designed them to eat meat, what's the problem if they eat only meat? Well, here is the big trap for us owners. In the wild, a cat eats their prey whole: bones, organs, the contents of the prey's stomach, and even fur. A clean filet from the supermarket, no matter how fresh, is only a tiny fraction of what their body needs for a long, healthy life. Today, we'll talk about how to balance your gourmet's diet gently and without the drama. This isn't just about a shiny coat. It's about making sure your cat stays by your side for as many years as possible. Let's start with the basics. To a cat, the smell of meat isn't just dinner. It's a powerful survival signal. Our pets have far fewer taste buds than we do, only about 470 compared to our 9,000. However, their sense of smell is like a supercomputer. To them, fresh meat smells like a 5-star steakhouse. When your cat rejects everything but chicken breast or beef, they aren't just being extra. They are following an ancient instinct. This is protein, this is life. But here's the catch: muscle meat alone is high in phosphorus, but dangerously low in calcium and B vitamins. Imagine if you decided to live only on apples. Delicious, sure. Healthy? For the first week, maybe. But soon your body would start sending out SOS signals. Remember, your cat's love for meat is a biological hard drive setting, not a bad attitude. Our job isn't to break it, but to carefully upgrade it. But before we start sneaking pumpkin into that favorite turkey, let's talk about what actually belongs in a healthy cat bowl besides the meat itself. The ideal diet is a bit like a Lego set. The base, about 70 to 80%, is meat. But the rest is where the health magic happens. Organ meats, like hearts, are an invaluable source of taurine, which is essential for vision and heart function. Gizzards and liver are nature's multivitamins. And what about calcium? In the wild, that comes from bones. At home, we use specific supplements, quail eggs, or the occasional bit of cooked whitefish to fill that gap. We also can't forget a tiny bit of fiber. Just a touch of vegetables helps the digestive system run like clockwork. If your cat ignores everything but the prime cuts, they are essentially living in a house with a beautiful roof but no foundation. Eventually, that structure will show cracks, often in the form of kidney issues or joint fragility. Okay, you might say, the theory makes sense, but how do I explain this to a creature that looks at a piece of zucchini with pure, unadulterated offense? The answer is simple. We use the strategy of small steps. The biggest mistake owners make is the menu shock. Cats are naturally neophobic. They are biologically wired to be suspicious of anything new. If yesterday was pure beef and today is a bowl of vegetables and grains, your cat will honestly think you're trying to poison them. Start with the 1 to 10 rule. Add 1 tiny part of the new ingredient to 9 parts of their favorite meat. This could be a teaspoon of pureed pumpkin or finely mashed steamed carrots. At this concentration, the meat smell still dominates, and the cat's inner food critic will likely let the contraband slide. It's like hiding a tiny piece of spinach in a massive, juicy burger. You might notice it, but you'll probably keep eating. If your pet is a surgical genius and manages to eat only the meat while leaving the vegetables perfectly clean at the bottom of the bowl, it's time to level up our culinary game. Making homemade cat patties is perhaps the best way to win the battle of the bowl. The trick is simple. Run the meat, the organs, and a small amount of vegetables through a meat grinder together. When everything is turned into a perfectly smooth blend, it becomes technically impossible to pick out the meat. Shape these into small meatballs and freeze them. Before serving, thaw a portion and warm it slightly. To your cat, it looks like their usual meat dish, but in reality, it's a complete nutritional cocktail that they can't take apart. Speaking of warmth, have you noticed that cats rarely like food straight from the fridge? There's a deep biological reason for that. In the wild, a hunter's prey is always warm. That's why food at room temperature, or slightly warmer around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, smells 10 times more attractive to a cat. If they're being stubborn about a new blend, try adding a spoonful of warm, unsalted chicken broth. It instantly boosts the aroma and softens the texture. It turns an ordinary dinner into a gourmet soup that's very hard to resist. Often it's the warmth and moisture that finally convince a picky eater to take that first bite. However, all our efforts can go to waste if we fall into the grandparent trap. That irresistible urge to give in to those big, pleading eyes. The hardest part of this journey is actually your discipline. If you're trying to balance their diet but keep handing out pieces of ham or cheese from your own plate, the battle is over before it started. Human food is packed with flavor enhancers, salt, and spices. After a bite of savory deli meat, natural turkey and pumpkin will taste like wet cardboard to a cat. More importantly, salt and excess fat are a direct ticket to kidney and liver issues. You have to be firm. Your plate is a no-fly zone. Real love for your pet is measured in their long-term health, not in the 5 seconds of pleasure they get from a salty treat. But they're starving. They haven't eaten in 3 hours and they're looking at me like I'm a monster. Sound familiar? Let's talk about the psychology of the hunger strike. A healthy cat can safely be picky at their bowl for up to 24 to 48 hours without any harm. This isn't you being cruel, it's a test of your boundaries. If your cat sniffs the food and walks away with their tail held high, simply pick up the bowl and put it away after 20 minutes. Don't let it sit out and lose its appeal. Offer that same portion again at the next scheduled feeding. When the survival instinct eventually overrides the drama, your cat will suddenly discover that the patty with pumpkin is actually quite delicious. The key is your Zen attitude. If you panic and start offering 5 different meals, you are training a professional manipulator, not a healthy eater. However, there is a very fine line between I'm just being stubborn and I'm actually sick. How do you know the difference? If your cat rejects even their absolute favorite, most prized treat for more than 24 hours, it's time to stop the lessons and grab the carrier. Signs you can't ignore include lethargy, refusing water, vomiting, or hiding in dark corners. Sometimes a meat tyrant stops eating not because of a protest, but because of dental pain or an upset stomach. But if your cat is still sprinting across the house and just waiting for you to cave and bring out the prime rib, they're fine. We just go back to the patience and consistency rule. To wrap things up, being a cat owner means being a part-time nutritionist, a part-time diplomat, and a tiny bit of a secret agent. Let's remember the 3 golden rules. First, gradual change. The 1-to-10 ratio is your best friend. Second, consistency. Prepare the food so they can't separate the healthy from the tasty. And third, your own resolve. Don't fall for the drama and keep the human food out of reach. Your cat doesn't know about vitamins or the calcium to phosphorus ratio, but you do. Your persistence today is the secret to their happy, purring old age many years from now. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is that one forbidden fruit your cat would do anything for? Have you ever tried any tricks to get them to eat their greens? We love reading your stories. They truly inspire our future videos. If you found this helpful, give this video a warm cat belly kind of like. Subscribe to the channel for more on how to care for your cats with love, warmth, and a little bit of science. Wishing health to you and your wonderful feline friends. I'll see you in the next one.